A OnePlus Open is back, and now with Android 15 and Oxygen OS 15. It's a great time to compare it head-to-head with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Now, I've done other comparisons with these two. You can check that out here. Right now, they're both on the closest even playing field that they ever have been, with both on Android 15 and with certain AI features. So we're going to check those out. I'm Mark, and you're watching GOT. If you like what you see, smash that like button down below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more news, tips, and tricks on these and other devices. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to it. So I got an overhead camera here, so we're going to do a lot of overhead shots as well as screen shooting, so you can see how these things perform. I did some stuff with the photos, AI, but right now let's go ahead and just look at performance and see how they do. By the time this video is over, you're going to find out which one is really performing well as expected and which one is not quite meeting expectations. First thing we want to look at is just how they perform. And to do that, we're going to take a look at the front screens. I'm going to fold these up here. And when we do, we're going to see how they perform as far as opening and closing apps and just your overall usefulness. As you can see here from the top-down view, they're very similar in size and everything. And you find the same thing in performance. It's really nice about these phones. And to take a quick look at the exterior, as you can see here, I do have cases on both of these. And also MagSafe grips made by Pitaka on both phones. And I really do enjoy making great use out of those. So let's get to it. What we got here is the main screen. And let's go ahead and make sure that all apps are closed. Close all apps there on this one. Just the one app. So now what you'll see in boasting, OnePlus takes their phone and they open and close apps like crazy just to see how quickly they perform. You know, you've got your animation that just works really nice on these, and it really quickly, as long as I don't miss the swipe up, they really quickly maneuver this phone. I'm opening up a bunch of apps all together just so you can see how it doesn't seem to slow up. They're all doing it. Now they do it in a video a lot faster, and I wonder if they even speed up the video, but you can see here, it's moving pretty quickly going through all these apps. Now we got all these apps open, running in the background. Now let's see real quick. Did they open fully? Like this vidIQ, I haven't signed in, but it's opened up. Let's see, this wallet is up. If it's opened up, they still seem to want to open a little bit. The home app, it's open as far. Some of these apps I haven't really set up yet, so you can see that here. And so they are just barely opening. Let's look at, you can see their calendar is fully open. Let's get the contacts. Contacts still have to open. So you can see there, the apps did open up right away. And there's a bunch of them in the background. And they opened up pretty cleanly, didn't have any problems. Now let's do the same thing on the Pixel 9 Pro. Let's take it and let's do the same thing. Here we go. We've got open app, close it, open an app and close it. Doesn't want to do it. It's stuck. Now that's a problem I find with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Sometimes it glitches. Look at that. It will not do that. I can open up and I can't even open up the app. Screen is frozen. That's not an image. It's just a frozen screen. So I've got to restart this to get going again. Okay, I restarted it. You can see there's nothing open. Let's give it a try again. Let's open an app, close it, open an app, close it. There we go. You can see already it's a bit slower than what the OnePlus Open was. A little bit janky compared to the OnePlus Open. Open up a few more apps here. I think it gets slower as you open up some apps. So you see here, they're all open right there. They're all in the background. And let's see, how are they doing? The first one I opened. Okay, it opened up. And let's look and see how about, okay, that's open. So they seem to be open. The ring open, it's not open yet. You see, they all seem to be right on the edge of opening, and they still have to open up once you touch on them. Let's see, do I have my calendar on here? Did I open that one? Let's see. Yeah, there's we got calendar still not quite open, but it opened up right away. So there we go. So you can see very similar, but I think as far as smooth performance, OnePlus really takes the win on this one. Now let's go ahead and close all apps. This is one thing that frustrates me. You've got to go all the way to the end here to close them all on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. And then on the OnePlus Open, you just open it up and you can hit close all. Now, sometimes OnePlus Open does not close them all. You can see there it left one. And I don't know if that was the last one I happened to look at. I can probably rewind and find out, but it's bothersome. Sometimes it'll leave one, sometimes it'll leave two open, which is not a big deal, but the expectation is to close all. So it should close all. Now I'm going to show you on some AI features here. I'm going to open up my community app here where I have questions and things that are listed here. And let's say I want to respond to a question here. We can open up on both of these, and very similar question. And when I respond, I can hit the response here. And of course, they both look very much the same. And difference is on the Pixel Fold, you can see here there is an AI button here, this AI with a check mark. So it will actually edit your text if you want it to once you write it. So they both will actually do text to speech really well. And they're both using the same engine, which is, of course, the Google Translate or voice to text. So they both do really well, as you can see here. They're pretty much neck and neck in speed and similarity. So there's no problem with that there. The problem is when you try to edit. They both have these little squares here where you can get additional assistance here. Click this, and on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, it'll proofread, but I don't see any proofreading here on the OnePlus Open. You see here, what does that do? That just copies to clipboard, which I don't want to do. That was a keyboard, that's settings. So there's nowhere to do that yet. Then you go back here to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, so it gives you different options that you can use. And you can go ahead and just set it to press it, and it adds it in there. And of course, if you want to, you can go ahead and just post it. Now, as far as performance there, you saw they both dictated really well. The difference is the AI, but the AI feature is coming to the OnePlus Open. I guess they're just doing trickle down feature drops. So we just haven't gotten that feature yet. As you can see here, we plan to add it, which will be really nice. And a lot of additional features that you don't currently have on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, which allows you to rewrite it in different styles and formats. You have that on the Z Fold devices, but for some reason, you don't have it on the Pixel. And then all the devices are using Google Gemini to do this. So I'm not quite sure why Pixel does not offer different styles. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the cameras on both of them. As you can see there, the camera opened a lot faster on the OnePlus Open. I do want to show you that I got them both set on the same animation. So if there's any question on that, you go to developer options on either one of them. And on that, you could scroll all the way down towards the bottom, and you can see animations. And as you can see here, they're both set at 0.5 for all three different animations. So they should be performing at the same speed. However, the OnePlus Open does seem to be a little faster and a little smoother. But as you know, this one has a Snapdragon Gen 2 chip, where you have the Tensor 4 chip in the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Now let's launch the camera again. They both open once, so it should be instant. Yeah, it's instant on both of them. Now you can see here they both have very similar abilities with their camera lens. You can go 0.5 versus 0.6 on the OnePlus Open. Then of course you have your standard 1x, 2x, and then you can go 3 times on the OnePlus Open, which is a dedicated lens. And on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, their dedicated lens is a 5x zoom. Now I'm going to show you how both of these perform in a screen recording video that I did on both of them. Let's check this out. So starting with the OnePlus Open, I took a photo out my back window and made sure there's a reflection in it. So then I noticed that there's an AI feature where you can actually use AI to erase reflections. So that's what I got going on here. We're removing the reflections. Let's see how much it does. It's pretty kind of a nice, cool effect. As you see here, it's analyzing it and it's removing. And it showed you what it was going to remove, and then it removed it. So it removed a lot of it, but you still have, you can see the before and after, you still have the lamp in the window. So it did not and could not remove it all, which there'll be other cases where there's ideal reflections that it'll remove. You know, say you're outside of a window shop and you're taking a picture and you want that reflection out of the window. It could do that very easily. But in this case, the reflection is so severe, it couldn't really remove it. So let's check this out on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, see what we could do on it. So on the Pixel 9 Pro, if we look through it, you can see there's different tools here, but there's nothing here to remove a reflection. You can unblur, you can zoom in and do different things, but you cannot remove a reflection. So let's check out the Magic Eraser and see what we can do with it. This Magic Eraser, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to remove the reflection or maybe even just the light. So I started thinking about that, and we zoom in here, go ahead and I'll circle this light. It'll automatically select it, but you can see the pole of the lamp here. So I'm going to go ahead and select that as well. Let's see what happens when you do that. And there's another reflection here and one more reflection. Now let's watch, let's see how this thing removes the stuff. Look at that. That looks really nice. It removed the lamp shade and cleaned it up. Look at that. It looks like it just removed the reflection. It looks really clean. That's pretty cool that you can actually do that with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold without that reflection removal tool. Now let's go to the OnePlus Open and give it an opportunity to erase that lampshade and see how well it does. You circle it, it selected it, really nice, and it got a nice cool effect where it erases it. There's a little bit of light underneath it, didn't erase, and it added something kind of interesting. Let's see if we can go ahead and erase the rest of this. We'll select that and maybe this piece down here in the corner. There you go, it cleaned it up pretty good. You still have that reflection in the corner. Let's see if we can give that a shot and see what happens. Maybe we can remove the reflection out. Let's remainder. Let's give that a shot. Let's add this reflection, and it's looking automatically, and let's see what it'll do. I think this is a really cool effect, how it just does it. It looks like it's picking up some of that. Yep. It removes some more of that reflection, which is good. And we still see the house is there and the fencing all looks the same. So it did pretty good, removing some additional reflection. But even after doing that, it still doesn't look as good as the Pixel 9 Pro Fold when you just removed and erased the images. The photo is just still so much more clear. And then, of course, you can see the detail in the clouds as well that you don't get out of the OnePlus Open. And this, of course, is on the standard camera. Now, as we can see here, the Pixel just has by far better photo processing. Then, of course, I don't know if there's some focusing issue going on, but as you can see, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, even though it doesn't have the reflection, it still brings out a better picture if you use the erasing AI. And would think we have to give most of that credit to the AI. Now, I figured I'd test the zoom cameras against each other. You have on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, of course, a 5x zoom camera. And on the OnePlus Open, it's just a 3x zoom camera. However, it has a low loss claim at 6x. So it has a 6x setting. So very similar there. So I'm going to zoom in on both cameras and let's see how they do. So zooming in on both, take that photo and compare the two of them with their zoom, the 6x versus the 5x on the Pixel 9 Pro. Let's take a look at this. On the Pixel 9 Pro, you can see it's a little bit lighter out because the f-stop, it allows more light. So it's a little brighter out. It looks a little clearer from the distance shot, but when we zoom in, so you think a 5x zoom lens would do better versus a 3x going 6, but in this case, I don't think so. And that's because you have 64 megapixels on this versus 10 megapixels on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Now here's just a standard shot on both of them right out the window where it's dark on the inside, daylight on the outside, and let's see how they both do. You can see they're both pretty compatible with one another. With either one, it looks like you're about equal with daylight shooting, so that's good to know. So you see they both perform fairly similar with some pros and cons to either one of them. Now, I didn't get into multitasking, but you can actually see that in another video right here. Check it out. Until next time, God bless.